Do you remember the wrestler Val Venus?
Yeah.
That was
gross.
That was his finishing.
The
move.
money shot.
Money
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah. God, that guy was so gross. Didn't he have like a blonde Jerry curl? Like, I guess it's because he was just always wet.
Yeah. It wasn't like Mr. Perfect epic, but it was pretty good.
It was gross.
But he was so cringe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, listen, that wasn't me attempting to start the episode and saying that our word is cringe, but it dovetailed perfectly into it.
Yeah, it was actually perfect.
And it's crazy because when we were talking about what words we were going to do today, that wasn't one of the words.
No, I know. You just totally sideswiped me, dude.
Sorry.
You know, I have to
Sideswipe, wasn't that one of the Transformers?
Yes. But dude, I have to do homework for this show. You can't come at me with a different way.
I think everybody that's been listening to this podcast, if you have been doing homework on the previous episodes, I think we're pretty safe going forward. Like, what more could you possibly learn?
Well, yeah. So you're not giving me a good rating then for the first 40 some odd episodes?
1 out of 10 would not recommend.
Okay. So what's our word then? Is it cringe?
I don't know. I mean, it can be. Like I said, that was totally accidental. And I always get complaints about how it sounds like our intros are forced. And that was absolutely not forced. We were talking about Val Venus, and then I said cringe.
1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cringe it is. I'm Dan.
I'm Matt. And don't forget that Dan's cringe.
And Matt's cringer. That's a He-Man joke, dude.
Cringer?
Yeah.
What was Cringer?
The battle cat. The tiger. There's nothing but knowledge on this podcast, people.
I didn't watch He-Man. Although, do you think that's where Val Venus got his general look?
Could be.
Yeah.
That's where I got my look.
Yeah, I know.
I still wear those little Fruit of the Loom He-Man underoos.
Does it freak you out that He-Man kind of looked like an Amish person that just got really angry and apparently developed his own electricity?
It was Arnold Schwarzenegger in a Amish haircut.
He looked like he should be wearing wooden shoes.
Should we start with what cringe means?
I think so. Probably because I don't know that we've been using it right the entire time so far.
Yeah, what if there's some weird thing that it's not what we think it is? Cringe is just supposed to be like...
Well, and it's shortened because it used to be cringe-worthy.
Was it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I think somebody's making that shit up.
Yeah, me.
And by somebody, yeah. I mean... Yeah.
No, seriously, cringe-worthy's been a thing.
Oh, shoot, yeah. Now you say it like that. I'm like, yeah, I remember hearing cringe-worthy.
You didn't have to. Like, history gives me that.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Mm-hmm. You know this.
Well, cringe would actually probably be in the actual dictionary, right? Webster's. It's an actual word.
I mean, it is a word, yes, but it's also a slang word.
So this isn't the first. Okay, I on Urban Dictionary, cringe. It's not its first official meaning, but the second one is glorious. Okay, so first thing for cringe is when someone acts or is so embarrassing or awkward. Okay, that makes sense.
So me calling you cringe was perfect.
Always.
Yeah.
But the second one, cringe, they just have Jake Paul.
Yeah, his entire existence is absolutely cringe.
So I almost feel like he's going to be on the cover of this episode. You know what? We have a bet. Well, he's not a celebrity, right? He's infamous.
Who?
Jake Paul.
He's kind of a celebrity. He was an internet celebrity for a short period.
Basically, whenever you acknowledge
he's
Jake
like
Paul.
He's basically like a porn star. Internet celebrity.
Okay. So he's a Kardashian, but with a wiener.
Well,
there's no joke there, but
the Kardashians have made it onto like real TV and stuff.
Yeah. But he's definitely cringe. But he's also
is it him or his brother that owns Prime?
Well, I thought it was a joint thing, but I don't know. But either way, do you think you can use your superpowers to take him out?
No, sadly. I think that, I've come up with many different ways that he could be beat in a ring of some sort.
Yeah, we just mentioned him on this podcast. He's going down like a sucker.
And he keeps somehow surviving like the cockroach that he is.
It's because it's rigged.
But I think cringe goes, I mean, even deeper a little bit than those definitions. I think that cringe elicits a certain look on your face when you encounter something that's cringe.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's so awkward that it makes you feel uncomfortable in your own skin for a moment, which again is a perfect description of Jake Paul.
And if this is your first time listening to us, if you hear us talking about harm to anybody who's a celebrity, it's because every time 1 in 5 celebrities seem to pass if we bring them up on this podcast. So we don't know if it's a superpower.
Okay. 1 in 5 is a little strong. And superpower seems like an not appropriate definition for murdering celebrities with our voices.
You can be a villain, but they have a superpower, right? They don't call it a villain power; it's a superpower. And I think we figured out it's Matt. It's him. He has the power to make this so.
Yes. No. It is not me.
So when they play this back, the courts, we've both figured it out. It's Matt.
No. It's not me. It's you.
Is it?
Yeah. So
I'm just
good.
I think it's you.
You're the one that brought up Chandler.
I'm the timing guy.
Like a week before it happened too.
Here's what it is. You have the superpower
like golden dagger shit.
You have the power with your voice, your soothing angelic voice, to kill people. Preferably low budget celebrities.
I have been known to kill them softly with my words.
And I have the power
killing them softly
of bad timing
with my words.
So when I upload these at the worst possible time, where they just magically happen to be the same time these people decide to pass. Even though we record this stuff like a month in advance, sometimes 2 months in advance, but yet we're getting pretty accurate. I'm telling you, 1 in 5, dude.
1 we were a little late on, I think. Well, I think we recorded prior to the death and then released after the death. I don't remember.
Pee Wee Herman was literally almost to the day of our release. Tina Turner was to the day of the release. Smash Mouth, because he was I don't remember his name. He was in the hospital when the release.
Nobody does, and that's unfortunate.
Yes. We didn't even know his name, and we took him out.
Yeah.
And
we don't even need first names. Were you attached to somebody that we can talk about?
That was within 3 days. And Chandler Bing, Matt Perry, was almost on the day.
Yeah, it's been a rough go for us over here. Yeah, it's not been easy.
And we feel bad because Matthew Perry was not intentional or anything. We were just enjoying a nice, friendly Friends quote from a scene that we loved.
For the record, none of them were intentional.
Murderer. Well. If the singer of the highly suspect dies, we're in trouble.
That might seem intentional. Like, there's definitely enough evidence to corroborate us actively using our evil powers for that. See, that's what it is. It's evil powers.
If any of the Kardashians come up missing, I'm in trouble because I keep trying to aim my partner Matt. I keep trying to aim his superpower at certain people.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm. You should watch how the strength. You don't know your own strength, dude.
We'll test it. I will not name another celebrity.
It's too late
for as long as we have this.
Jake Paul's done.
Yeah, after this episode.
So this will probably release in January. So come the new year, he'll probably have a heart attack from cocaine or some shit like that. Calling it now.
Maybe he'll have a heart attack from sucking so hard.
Drinking Prime.
Actually, that's probably fairly accurate.
If we could kill that, that would be great.
You know what I like about Prime?
Optimus Prime?
No, like the beverage.
Prime Time?
No, the beverage.
Have you tried it? I haven't.
Do you know what I like about Prime?
That it's not Pepsi.
No, I like absolutely nothing about Prime. I mean, I don't like its logo, holster. I refuse to taste it because of what it's concealed in and the fact that it's owned by 1 or 2 Pauls. I hate that it's everywhere. Like, you can't turn around anymore without seeing it, which is funny because I feel like I felt the same way about Liquid Death, and then I got behind it a little bit.
Liquid Death came out of nowhere. This thing, I don't.
No, it came out of Los Angeles.
Yeah. Okay. Same thing, right?
Not really. That's definitely somewhere.
So you would say Prime is cringe then?
Prime is cringe. Like it elicits a certain feeling in me every time I see it when I'm walking through the store. And it's
I think it's the new hip drink though for young kids though, right? They think it's the new Red Bull or something like that.
Or Monster or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I want to say like Red Bull was never really hip for kids. Red Bull was like the thing that you added to vodka once you became legally able to drink. Monster was like the thing that you drank
Monster
probably
made
when
it
you were
hip.
like 14 to try to seem cool and have extra energy. Like you needed extra energy. Or fucking
Red
14
Bull
years
was
old.
like literal cocaine if you couldn't get cocaine when it came out. So kids were like, yeah, I'll have a Red Bull. And, they take a Red Bull instead of coffee and go to school.
You want to hear a funny story about Red Bull?
Is it about a bull that's blue?
No.
Okay.
And that was an ox and his name was Babe.
Does he give you wings?
No.
All right. Yes. I would love to hear a story.
Shortly after Red Bull was released in this glorious country of ours, my cross country team traveled down to the Fresno area for a invitational.
Mm-hmm.
And
what was your specialty in cross country?
There's not a specialty. It's just cross country.
You just run far until you puke and die?
Yeah. My specialty was not being on the varsity team. Anyways, the point is.
Me too.
The point is.
Nailed that.
So we're down there for this meet, and it was shortly after the release of Red Bull to the United States. And I don't know if it was a sponsor or they just decided to bring it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't drink it because even at that time, like high amounts of caffeine terrified me.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody else did because they figured they needed that jolt before they went out and ran.
Yeah.
I cannot explain to you
mm-hmm.
just how long the lines were for the porta potties prior to race. They gave literally everybody the shits.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, obviously they've done some work to fix that since then, but whatever that combo was early on, they probably should have waited a little bit longer before they released it.
I still think it gives you the shits. Yeah. Red Bull was the original crack thing that like young kids were like, I feel like I'm an adult if I drink that. And then Monster came and that Monster made it hip. That was like, hey kids, here's your energy drink.
Monster was created by the same people that own Hanson's, the fruit juice and soda company.
Yeah, I think I did know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I told you that. But, and not just now. When I found out that information, I was so floored by it that I needed to tell everybody within a 3-mile radius.
Thank you, Sensei.
Yes.
How are you my Sensei? I'm older than you.
You don't have to be older to be a Sensei.
Yes. Because I'm like the old wise. I'm Miyagi, dude.
You are old. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And?
You're older.
Damn
it. Than me.
So Prime is cringe. Your superpowers are a little bit cringe.
Well, I don't know that my superpowers are cringe, but the fact that they seem to work, that's kind of cringe.
Your cross country skills are cringe.
Well, I was decent at cross country. I just wasn't on varsity. That's all.
Did you just do cross country or did you do actual track like all the other stuff? Like, did you have a
track? Was the reason I did cross country.
Okay.
Because my freshman year, I was a sprinter. Well, I'll use the term loosely because I wasn't that fast.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a sprinter, and my coach was like, I don't think you're really fit for 100 and 200 meters. So I think you should do cross country in the fall so that you can get used to longer distances so that the distances I'm going to put you at feel less uncomfortable.
Okay.
And so then I was a 400 and 800 meter runner. I was varsity for that.
So basically, like, you just weren't fast.
I was in 400 and 800, but not short bursts.
That's a different kind of fast. Yeah. That's a whole other thing. Because I used to run like the goddamn wind, dude.
Wind doesn't run.
Mm-hmm.
You should have said I used to run like the goddamn water. Water runs.
That doesn't sound right. Isn't that?
No, the phrase you said was the phrase that everybody's used forever. It just doesn't sound right.
Did you just hear me trip over like 40 different words?
I sure did.
Whew, and none of them were long. I was just trying to think of
Actually, is it run like the wind or fly like the wind?
It's run like the wind, right?
Wind also doesn't fly. Like, don't get me started on that. But
basically, I'm a Patrick Swayze song.
She's like the wind.
I'm like the wind. I run like the wind, not like water.
I think I'm going to go with she's.
You run like the wind. You be like water. That's Bruce Lee.
You float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Muhammad Ali.
Oh, are we just going to quotes?
Well, I guess so. You said a whole bunch of stuff that didn't matter. So
Okay.
I just assumed that's what we were doing.
Pepsi, the taste of a new generation.
New print, little, yellow, different.
I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
Time to make the donuts.
Oh, that's a good one. I'll just end this right now. Where's the beef?
Ooh. Roger, you're pushing my buttons.
Which one is that?
I win.
You did that before on a podcast. I'm just trying to remember what it was.
It's the commercial for, I couldn't even tell you what it's for, but a lady's eating spaghetti across from somebody and you can't see the somebody. And then spaghetti just flies and hits her in the face. And it scans over and it's a monkey. She's eating with a monkey and the monkey's name's Roger. He goes, Roger, you're pushing my buttons.
We got to know what it is, though. So that one don't count. You can't give me the product. I win.
You don't win.
Look at his face. It's so cringe. I win.
My face is not, that's a rude thing to say to somebody.
How is that rude?
It's perfectly apt to say it to Jake Paul, but you can't just say it to me.
Mm-hmm. So do your powers work like Beetlejuice? So if you say his name 3 times, it becomes true?
I don't.
I should go back and listen to our episodes if we...
I'd prefer to be called Bloody Mary in that instance. Yeah, I don't know.
Because with Pee Wee Herman, I referred to him as Pee Wee Herman. You referred to him as by his real name, Paul Rubens.
Sure.
Totally took him out.
Oh, of course. I took him out because I mentioned his real
Double
name.
whammy.
Well, that means you're even more powerful than me then, because you didn't mention Matthew Perry by name. You mentioned just his character name and still managed to murder him.
And I didn't realize we'd murdered him until you called me that morning and you're like, we did it. We fucking did it. And I'm all, what did we do? We took out another one. I'm like, no, we didn't. I'm like, oh, shit.
Maybe our theme song needs to be Another One Bites the Dust.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can't kill Freddy, so.
No, but we could kill Weird Al. He redid the song.
Okay, so why cringe?
Completely accidental. Thanks, Val Venus.
Pal Penis?
I mean, there's a reason that it rhymed.
That's a different wrestler. Pal Penis.
Well, it's not completely different. There's a reason that it rhymed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just started talking about that and it immediately led me to cringe because that guy was cringe.
And I don't use cringe very often, but I have used it. I think we all have, right?
I'm sure, I know that I've used it. I don't know that it's like super frequent, but like I know when it fits.
Well, and if someone said, "Hey, that's cringe," or "Ugh, cringe," it wouldn't feel like someone going, "Oh, Riz, I'm gonna riz you up." It wouldn't sound stupid. It would just sound like a word. So I think we both don't hate this word or don't have any reason to feel like it's annoying or anything. It feels like a real word. It doesn't feel like a slang term.
I think the interesting part to this word is it obviously is a very real word, and that very real word is a verb, and it is now an adjective based on slang. That's like pretty much the only change.
Should we look it up on a dictionary?
Yeah. Do you have one in here?
Yeah, in your pocket.
Oh.
It's one of those electronic dictionaries.
That's not a dictionary. That's my phone.
What?
Verb, to shrink back, bend, or crouch, especially in fear, pain, or servility.
Yeah, that's totally... Well, yeah, cowardly, because that's why Cringer, that's the name, the play for the He-Man.
2 is to feel very embarrassed or awkward, react with discomfort. That is the Jake Paul definition, or the Jake Paul verb. The noun version of it is an act or instance of shrinking back, bending, or crouching, and an instance of being very embarrassed, awkward, or uncomfortable. The adjective, as I said, is slang, causing embarrassment or resulting in awkward discomfort. Cringeworthy, cringy. Her attempt to rap at the talent show was so very cringe. It sure was. Dictionary.com.
Those were so much better than Urban Dictionary stuff.
That's so weird that like a real dictionary definition would be so much better than Urban Dictionary.
But they have the best minds on Urban Dictionary.
They have minds on Urban Dictionary, and a lot of them. Whereas I'm sure the dictionary has like 2 minds working on it or something like that.
They actually went to school for those minds.
And they really don't have to work on it very hard because you're just reprinting what's already been in place and then adding a couple words each year.
Oh, that's what's cringe is boxing now is so, it's always been about the event and the spectacle, right? But
Sure.
At least at the end of the day, you would see a knockout. You would see real guys get in there. Now, sometimes where some of the guys not equal to the guy you're going to watch get knocked, or guy doing all the knocking out. Like, they threw some softies at Tyson. But you were there. It was an event. You got what you saw. Now it's just like the Floyd Mayweather's. Mayweather's. Who's Mayweather?
I don't know.
There's a Mayweather, isn't there?
Sure.
Okay, so Mayweather. It just feels like you watch their fights now, and it's like they do every little thing to make it seem like you're watching a fight, and then nothing happens, and then a year from now they do that fight again.
Well, I think it's a multiple part thing. Like, I think people got tired of spending money to see 2 rounds.
If that.
Yeah.
Remember when Tyson was knocking guys out in 30 seconds?
Yeah. Again, I would spend oodles of cash money to watch those 30 seconds because the man was a machine.
It was an event. Him in Holyfield. Oh my God, that was like the biggest moment.
Boxing is also worse now because the heavyweight division sucks.
Yeah,
it's the only division anybody's ever cared about in the entire history of the sport, and now it sucks.
Which is weird. You would figure they'd be monsters right now.
You would think, but they get paid more to do things like MMA, or
I don't know. It seems like boxing.
Fight.
There's like Conor McGregor shit. He made 3 times as much doing that stupid fight with Mayweather than he's made, I think, altogether in the UFC. We could mention him a few more times. I would love your superpowers to kick in then. Conor McGregor. Cannot stand that guy.
What if your powers worked the wrong way and they actually did work like Bloody Mary, and all of a sudden those people were in our house?
What if I'm just giving them extra juice so they're going to live longer when I say their name?
Did you say extra? It's not important what you said.
That was kind of cringe. So then you need to overshadow, you need to like cancel me out. So you need to say his name a bunch more.
Nope.
You want him to live? That's a catch-22.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that, so I'm going to plead the fifth.
So legally you want him to live, but just between me and you and our 13 listeners, would you be real sad if Conor McGregor?
Would I feel sad? It's always sad when somebody dies.
Nope.
Yes.
Was it sad when Hitler died?
I don't know. I wasn't alive. But for some people, I'm sure.
He's still alive.
I'm sure even for some Americans that it was sad because they were probably like, oh, man, we can't even kill him anymore. He's already dead.
That's dumb. Cringy dumb.
Oh, cringy dumb, huh?
Cringy dumb.
I'll show you cringy dumb.
Band name?
No.
Yeah, it's not. We've done better than that. I've done better than that.
You're right. I have done better than that. So since it's my favorite new feature, what 3 things are cringe to you?
Jake Paul, his brother, and Conor McGregor.
You know what's sad about Jake Paul's brother is we are 35 minutes into recording any of this information, and neither one of us remembers what his name is.
Isn't it the same? It's Jake Paul, John, and Ringo or something, right?
No, that's the Beatle Pauls.
It's Jake Paul, Paul, Michael Paul.
Is it Aaron Paul? No, Aaron Paul's an actor, right?
Zippy Paul. All right. Logan
Featured.
Paul.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's like the same name.
So it was Jake, Logan, and what was the third one?
Connor.
Oh. You just picked people? You didn't have...
Well, we were just hot. It was hot on the mic. So I was like, I don't even have to think because that's all cringe to me.
Yeah, sure. I guess so.
I mean, if you want me to spice it up, okay. Crystal Pepsi.
Listen, we don't have space for your hate crimes.
Dirty Dancing, the movie. And
Dirty Dancing, the movie's cringe to you?
Yes. And
why?
And,
is it because he was old and she was young? Is this getting back to this basketball thing?
If you think about it, that's people are finally putting that together. He was way older than her. Even though back then in the 80s, everybody looked like they were 35. Nobody looked like teenagers. But technically her character was so much younger than his. It was like, that was a total crime. Like crime. But people forget about that because there's good songs and he's good looking and sexy.
He is good looking and sexy.
But he should be in jail just for that. Because that's pedophilia. I mean, cringe all the way.
Can you put him in jail?
Pedo cringe?
Like, he's dead, right? So wouldn't it be hard to put him in jail?
Dude, he's like the wind now. It's too soon.
We used to have a bar near us called Roadhouse that had a cutout of him in it, which I always found funny.
That can't be the only one.
I hope not, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was this little divey bar. It was cool because half the reason we went there, this was when I was living in California, half the reason we went there was they had a tabletop or cocktail style video game system with like the 60 different games on it.
Nice.
So you could play Donkey Kong Jr. and Pac-Man and Galaga and all that shit.
And like high kick some drunk bastard at the bar. Yeah. Roadhouse is awesome.
Best finishing move in a bar in a movie all time. There's only one answer.
Is it when he takes the guy's throat out?
Oh, maybe there are two answers. What do you mean by takes the guy's
Doesn't
throat
he like rip his throat out? I haven't seen Roadhouse in forever, so.
Oh, I don't know that I've ever seen Roadhouse, but my best bar scene finishing move was the arm wrestling scene from The Fly.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you actually seen The Fly?
Yeah.
The original? Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah. That might have been part of my start to not, and that's not by any means a horror movie. But,
No, but it's completely disturbing.
but that scene is like disgusting.
The whole thing when they're first trying to do the transporting, that's what he's building, right?
Yes.
But when the whole scene with is it the baboon? When he tries to do the baboon and it comes out and it's all like twisted out. And that was a whole level of gore that when you're a kid, I was like, oh, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah. No, when he snaps that guy's forearm right in half, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Still cringe thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I would have talked about The Fly because The Fly is that was a pretty, that was a big movie at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That movie was R. You counting?
That might be Goldblum's like biggest headline.
That's what
Right.
made him super popular.
Yeah.
And then he just started doing a bunch of weird movies until he got to Jurassic Park.
Yeah. And now he talks about stuff on National Geographic Channel or something like that.
Because he's super smart.
He is super smart.
Well,
And
I think he's just super well
he
read.
also slings not apartments themselves, but
Apartments.com.
apartment websites.
I can't believe this episode's almost over.
I can.
You can?
Yeah. Because somehow we got through the three things again. And
no one asked you your three things?
it's okay. It's okay. I've learned to accept my fate on this podcast, which is if I want to talk about anything, I need to set myself up for it. And
Okay,
I didn't this time.
Let's smarten this up a little bit. Name three things that aren't cringe.
How's that smartening it up?
Because
also, is smartening a word?
Thinking of something that's cringe is easy because it's stuff you're like, ugh, gross. So give me the opposite of that.
Things that aren't cringe. Golden Retriever puppies.
All right. That's easy. He just got a Golden Retriever puppy.
3 of them. Done.
Okay.
No, what else? A properly made hamburger.
It just made me hungry.
See, can you cringe at it?
Yep.
Competitive level tag on ESPN.
That literally just came up on my feed the other day.
Have you watched it?
Yes, it's insane.
It's amazing.
It's like, I can't believe this is real, but then you start watching it and you're like, look at the skill.
It's not.
It's like extreme parkour and tag.
I said it sort of as a joke, but it's not cringe because it's like, shit, that was all of our dreams when we were 5.
That's what we were playing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's super cool to watch. It's the only part about it that's cringe is somehow it made it onto ESPN, but the fact that it exists is very uncringe.
And that there's already like professional players that do it.
What boggles my mind is with all the first person things that you can do on video games that somehow they haven't made just tag. Wouldn't that be like a much safer thing to teach kids anyway?
Do you think the guy just like goes to Target to, honey, I got to practice for my next competition, and he just starts running through all the like clothing things and jumping over walls and stuff, hoping somebody's chasing him?
I mean, how much did you learn about tag when you were a kid in a department store like that? Those middle of the circle racks, mom ain't ever finding you.
Yeah. I just see him at like, you go to the beach where they have like all the stuff set up for the guys to do all the working out. And I just see some skinny dude just running through that shit, jumping on stuff.
You know what they should do? They should do a competition where it's them going through a course and then an Australian Shepherd.
It should be real life, like something's really, you're putting something on the line here. Because like in Ninja Warrior, when they do it in Boston, Ninja Warrior, there's consequences because they fall, they hurt. Like they, or what's the Wipeout?
Mm-hmm.
People get hurt. These guys aren't going to get hurt that bad. So yeah, they should have something, Jason.
You don't duck at the right time, you're going to get hurt pretty bad.
I could just see, honey, I got to train. I got to. What does your husband do? He's in the backyard just flipping off shit and running and sliding.
Oh, it's like, no. What does your husband do? Now, mind you, they're standing in the front yard when this question is asked. And from the backyard, you hear, I got you, you son of a bitch. You're it.
Oh, my God. I'm just scared to Google how much money those guys make.
And if that exists, why does competitive Marco Polo not exist on ESPN?
Let's start it. There's competitive cornhole.
Those guys are good.
It's throwing a beanbag in a hole.
Yeah, that's not easy.
It's so easy.
No, it's not. I've seen you do lots of things that require some sort of talent, and you failed miserably at all of them. So you can't possibly think
cornhole is easy.
Cornhole is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as hard as some people make it look, but it's not easy. Do you think horseshoes is easy?
No, horseshoes is different. That's a little more awkward.
Is it?
Yeah, totally awkward.
Okay.
Totally different.
Okay, princess.
You're throwing a bag in a hole. Horseshoes, just to throw that damn thing right, takes a little technique.
What about beer pong?
Didn't ever really do it.
Well, I know because you don't drink, but you can play it without drinking.
No point. It's only interesting to people who drink.
There's no point. I thought people
who drink at that point are talking monkeys, so they think doing beer pong.
Oh, you think I'm a talking monkey?
When you drink and play beer pong, look at that talking monkey.
Never seen it.
When they kids had that set up for what was that?
I whooped their ass.
You were like a giddy little guy. I was
because I like teaching kids what's up.
You looked like you were a 10-year-old ready to, like, I don't know, just go ham at the McDonald's play area.
Play place.
Yeah. I was like, look at him. He looks like a kid.
Think of the professional tag you could play inside a play place.
That's probably where those guys practice. Or like when you go to the dentist and they have one of those
Zone.
things.
Did you have those at all?
We didn't have one, but I know which ones you're talking about. Yeah. Just a grown-ass man running through those.
Getting easy at Discovery Zone. Discover what I can do on my own. Which is, let's get really to the nitty-gritty of that song. You were never discovering what you could do on your own because you were playing with other kids. Stupid.
That's a crime, isn't it?
You, as a child, were playing with other children.
Oh, I thought you meant you now playing with kids. God. Well, I've seen the court papers, dude.
No, you haven't.
All right. What's not cringe is if anybody wants to give us a shout out at our email, hangoutslangout@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. That is not cringe.
No. Well, depending on what you say, but for the most part, no.
For the most part, most of the emails have been pretty cringe for my partner, Matt, but that's because everybody agrees with me.
Which is cringe in and of itself.
No. It's anti-cringe.
Still didn't bother to look up the opposite of cringe, huh? You decided it's called anti-cringe.
Yep. I think hashtag anti-cringe. I think we got it. Nailed it.
The opposite of cringe is RBF.
The opposite? What?
Resting bitch face. Also, I don't know how that's not on our list.
Well, it is now.
Sweet.
Oh, I'm Dan.
And I'm Matt. Drive safe. Don't be cringe. Haven't listened to all our episodes? Don't be cringe. Just go binge. Find us wherever you find your podcasts.
Cringe. Don't be cringe.
Just go binge.
Did you say disco binge?
Ooh, fun.
That's a band name. Until next time, bingers.
You won't find us on Hinge. Slangers out.
I think we killed that. well, we had nobody here and we could have done it.
Yeah, but we had
but
two
you
dogs
were
that-
like being the prima donna. You were being Jake Paul.
Have you listened to your dog when he's playing?
Guillermo?
Yeah.
He's perfection.
Would you like to do an impression of the sound?
I was choked on my own spit.
It's just like that, but for an hour and a half straight.
And he's perfect. He's beautiful.
He's handsome, I guess.
Whose dog's been on one of our cover tiles? This guy. Even though it was on the word you hate the most in the world, but
Yeah.
this guy.
But you also picked him. You could have picked any of our dogs.
Is anything more bougie than a French bulldog right now? Number one dog in the world.
The only thing more bougie than a French bulldog is a French bulldog owner.
Touche. There's a little bit of truth to that.
There absolutely is a bit of truth to that.
I don't understand.
It's not even a bit.
I don't even understand what you're
It's a
talking
ton
about.
of truth.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. You bougie fuck.
You have to pay extra for that.
Ew. Ugh. So Valvinus. So cringe.
Ugh. Cringe.